Okay, here's one for you to work on. I would go ahead and pause it and just remember, just move your terms back and forth across the equation, put them where you want them. So I'll go ahead and wait. Okay, I'm assuming that you paused. So the way we do this is we want to isolate D. There it is, it's a negative D here. We want it to be a positive D. We can accomplish that by moving it to the left of the equation. And there it is on its own, or on its alone on the left side. I need to move these around too. Still a positive C over here. If I take the A and move it over, it becomes a negative A. If I move the B over, it becomes a negative B. So there's the answer. But if you wanted it in alphabetical order, you know how to do that too. Okay, so the negative A stays negative because it hasn't gone across the equation. The negative B stays negative, has not gone across the equation, and the C is still positive. So that's the way I would want it to look. All right, let's try another one. This time we're going to work on multiplication. Well, how do you undo multiplication? You divide. So let's divide this. We're wanting to isolate the B, so the A needs to go away. The A into there, and if we divide A out of one term, A out of one side, we divide A out of both terms, or both sides. These A's cancel, and you end up with B is equal to C divided by A. All right, here's one for you. I'll give you a moment. Go ahead and pause. Okay, again, we're trying to isolate the x. So nothing's going on but multiplication. So we're going to divide out everything but the x. That is the t and the y. And if I divide t and the y out of one term, I have to divide t and the y out of the other term. These t's cancel, these y's cancel, and I end up with x is equal to z divided by t times y. Okay, that's multiplication. All right, now let's look at division. How do you undo division? Well, you use multiplication. What do you multiply by? You multiply by the denominator. So we're going to multiply by the denominator. The denominator is k, so it's actually k times m up here on top. Okay, and then if I multiply one term by k, I have to multiply the other term by k. All right, these cancel, and I end up with m is equal to jk. All right, and here's one for you. Go ahead and pause. All right, we're trying to isolate the t. First thing I told you we need to do is we need to undo all the addition and subtraction first. So let's move all these to the other side. Let's put them in alphabetical order. All right, so the E becomes a negative E. The negative F becomes a positive F over here. Remember, I'm just adding F to both sides. And then the J stays a positive J. All right, I still have my MT divided by K. All right, so we could try to get the T away from the M first, but as I told you, you probably want to undo the fractions first. So let's go ahead and undo that fraction, undo that division problem. How do you do that? You multiply by the denominator again. Okay. Now I could go through here and multiply every term, but I keep telling you, multiply every term, divide every term, or multiply both sides, divide both sides, because you accomplish the same thing with distributive property. So I'm going to multiply this entire side by k, which is going to result in me multiplying each term by k. All right, so these two terms cancel, and I end up with m times t is equal to negative e times k, positive fk. I'm just multiplying each term by k using a distributive property, plus jk. All right, so I still have to get that t away from that m while they're multiplying. How do you undo that? With division, dividing out the m. Now I could go through here and divide every term by m, which would be fine, or I can divide the entire side by m, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, these two cancel, and I end up with t is equal to negative ek plus fk plus jk all over m. And that's how you do that. So if you have any questions, as always, just let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.